Hi there. Welcome into Unlocking Your Full Potential. I just want to thank you for spending some time with me here so I can share with you some ideas I have about unlocking our full potential. So, as business owners, I know at some point you've probably felt stuck or maybe you've struggled to move forward, maybe even multiple times a day, to be honest with you. I know for me, I was seeking greater joy and fulfillment, and I began to realize I had to challenge my limiting beliefs. And once I started doing that, I was able to start working with so many other business owners with what I do here at our success group. And they were also seeking greater joy and fulfillment. As we dive into this here, I just want to invite you to think about this more than just a video or a presentation and think of it more as a call to action, a challenge to step up and start breaking free from whatever's holding you back. The power to unlock your full potential is actually already inside of you. And really, my role is just to guide you, maybe to challenge you a little bit and to push you to see where possibility lies for you. What's possible when you are aligned with your purpose and you begin to take action. So, when you start to step into your full self, you don't just transform yourself, you actually create a ripple effect that empowers everyone around you. And a rising tide lifts all boats. I truly, truly believe that. Let's dive into this. First off, I want to make sure that I recognize you as you're watching this here and recognize that you are completely unique and you're different and you have different circumstances and different experiences. You're not this one size fits all person. And also, I'm recognizing you, but I also need you to accept that. You need to accept that your path is yours and yours alone. You are wonderfully unique. So the beliefs you have are shaped by your experiences, they're shaped by your choices, and they're shaped by your dreams. So no one else can walk it for you. And that's what makes being an entrepreneur so extraordinary. There's no one size fits all fix. But here's the thing. Here's the uniqueness, right? That same unique experience that shapes your path will also create barriers. And these barriers aren't there to define you, but many people actually allow that to become their story. The barriers are not meant to become your story. They are placed there to allow you to grow, to allow you to exercise, right? In a sense of growth, exercise in a sense of thinking bigger and just encourage you really to rewrite your story. That's what those barriers are really put there for. To me, overcoming limiting beliefs means expanding what you believe is actually possible. It's really about stepping beyond the boundaries you've set for yourself, boundaries that may feel safe, but they also keep you from reaching your full potential. I know the nice, warm, cozy, safe, secure, that comfort zone. If you don't shed that comfort zone, you're never going to shed the limiting beliefs. My mentor, Jack Canfield, told me everything you want is on the other side of fear. That really spoke to me and said, man, it's time to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm going to ask you to be completely honest with yourself. What limiting belief is holding you back? What justification did you use when you didn't reach your goal? How did you create, promote, or allow the situation to happen? Yes, I understand that those honest answers will be uncomfortable, right? I have to ask myself those questions every day and it's uncomfortable. But my challenge to you is to embrace those honest answers and then find growth. To embrace that, right? It's kind of sometimes easier said than done, but we can utilize something called the Sedona method to challenge those uncomfortable answers and stories you're holding on to by asking ourselves, could you let it go? And would you let it go? And if that's the case, right, if there's a possibility that you could let it go or that you would let it go, the next question to ask is when? Right. And I know the Sedona method's a lot deeper than that, but that gives us a really good starting point. Could you let it go and would you let it go? Because on the other side of those beliefs lies something much bigger, right? Something much better, something only you can achieve. So when you ask yourself that question, could I let it go or would I let it go? You're opening doors that move beyond your limiting beliefs. But here's the catch: letting go and stepping into something greater requires us to leave the comfort of what feels safe, because that comfort is holding us back. I hope your answer of when is starting to feel more like now, right? Now is the time to let it go and act as if you were unlimited. Let you in on a little secret here. Come in a little bit closer. You are unlimited, right? So we don't necessarily need to act, but sometimes we need to start acting as if to show us that we are unlimited. Expanding your comfort zone is going to be that next critical step. Here's why we stay stuck, right? Over the years of working with the clients and partners that I work with at our success group, I've been able to pinpoint 6 reasons that we stay stuck. First reason is perception. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of how others will perceive us. Will they judge us, mock us, or think less of us, right? The truth is, the perception actually reflects their own fears, not your worth. The second reason we stay stuck is rejection, right? The fear of hearing no can be paralyzing. Rejection feels personal, but it's not. Every no is just a step closer to the right yes. The only true rejection comes when we reject ourselves by not trying. Difficulty, right? When something seems too hard, it's very easy to convince ourselves it's not worth the effort. But difficulty is not a stop sign. It's actually a signpost or a guide pointing us to where growth is going to happen. We've got to lean into that difficulty. Uncertainty is the next one, right? That unknown, it can feel terrifying because it lacks those guarantees. We feel like we might be doing something wrong. And it's also where possibilities live. That unknown is where all of your possibilities are living. And if we avoid the unknown, we're actually making a choice to choose to stay exactly where we're at. 5 is dependency. We're waiting for someone to tell us what to do. And I know that feels safe, but it also gives away our power. Your leadership, your entrepreneurship is going to start with taking action. Even when no one is guiding us, you need to take action. So, belief in yourself is something that can be cultivated once you start taking action. Another one here is scarcity, believing we don't have enough, right? Whether it's I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough knowledge. Those things keep us stuck. And yes, resources are definitely important, but resourcefulness is the real key to unlocking your potential. You have all of the resources that you need. I guarantee it. You have all the resources that you need. Can I be more clear on that? You have all the resources that you need. Well, let's do a little exercise here so we can take a look at our comfort zone. So I'm going to ask you, like you see on the screen here, and I'll try to do it with you. I'm going to ask you to put your hands together and just fold them, and which one's on top, right? Now, I know this is recorded, so this is a rhetorical question, but look down for yourself. Which one's on top, right? Is it left or right? For me, it's the left thumb. My question to you now is, well, which is the correct thumb, right? Were you ever given instructions on how to fold your hands? No. There's actually no right or wrong way to fold your hands, to which thumb to have on top. Honestly, this goes for everything else. You can let your hands go for right now. This goes for everything else in the world. The only right answer is the way that works for you. Now, let me be very clear here. I'm not talking about morals and values. I'm not saying it's okay to rob a bank, or in the case of the current world, for the banks to be robbing us, right? It feels like that some days. I'm talking about personality and characteristics, such as you should be outgoing or you should be more demure, right? Like if you're outgoing, you're outgoing. If you're shy, you're shy. That doesn't have any effect on your ability to unlock your full potential, right? Maybe you're somebody that likes to talk a lot right here, or maybe you're somebody that is more quiet and reserved. Maybe you're somebody that likes sports or liking music, right? Those qualities that make you uniquely you are very valid, but they also might be something that's holding you back from success. It's not the quality that's holding you back. It's allowing that to be your story, right? Oh, well, I'm shy, so therefore I can't. Or I'm not really good at talking. So, right, you're creating that story. So, how you take action is perfectly fine. You've got to learn to push against your comfort zone to take the action you need to unlock your potential. So let's head back to this exercise here real quick. I want you to, go fold your hands. Okay, left is on top for me. So then I want you to do this. I want you to unfold them, put your fingers together, and then move them. I want, in my case, I want the right finger to be on top, and I want you to move all of your fingers. So it's not just changing your thumbs. You're going to move all of your fingers and hold your hands like that. Right? What are you feeling? How does that feel? For me, words like yucky, awkward, strange, wrong, uncomfortable, right? All of those things kind of show up. As you're thinking about that, as you're feeling those uncomfortable feelings, half the people in the world would find that way of folding their hands. Again, for me, it's left. So half the people in the world folding their hands with the right on top is comfortable to them. So there's no right way to be. There's only whatever works for you. As long as you push up against your comfort zone, as long as you start pushing into your comfort zone with the bias towards action. Then the next step, once you're willing to push on your comfort zone, is to start changing your story. We all carry these stories about ourselves, stories about who we are, what we're capable of, and honestly, what's possible for us. And these stories feel real because we've told them so many times over and over again. But you have to question, are they true? The stories we tell ourselves often fall into one of these three categories: abilities, right? I'm not smart enough, skilled enough, I'm not capable enough. So we have a story about that. Our stories about opportunities, right? Things like that kind of success is not available to someone like me with my background or opportunities, etc. And then circumstances, right? I can't succeed because of my situation, my resources, my past. But here's the thing: the stories we tell ourselves aren't the reality. Your reality is actually much brighter, much more full of possibility, and it's really waiting for you to step into it. To move from the story to the reality, we need to rewrite those narratives. And it all starts with questioning your stories. When you start to question your own abilities, when you start to complain about a lack of opportunities, when you are wallowing in your circumstances, I'm going to invite you to ask yourself these two questions. Is this story serving me? And is that story based on fact or fear? Here's the great news. The answer to that honestly doesn't really matter, right? Is the story serving me? Is it based on fact or fear? The story could serve in certain circumstances, right, to keep you safe. It could be not serving you in circumstances because it's holding you back. Is it based on fact or fear? Doesn't really matter. If it's based on fact, that's because you've made it a fact. If it's based on fear, that's because you've got a fantasized experience appearing real. And so it's not about the answer, but it's actually stopping to question that because it allows us to change the pattern and create space for new possibilities. And here's the secret: stories are actually for creation. Play along and just take a moment. What's a story that you've been telling yourself about your abilities, your opportunities, your circumstances? And I want you to challenge it. Just take that story, maybe have a scratch piece of paper, write it out, and maybe it's in shorthand, but just kind of outline it, write what that story is, so you have it in front of you. And then I want you to take that and I want you to rewrite it, become a movie producer, movie writer, script writer, and rewrite it into a story that is instead full of strength, possibility, and action. Because the reality you step into starts with changing the story. It starts with changing the story that you choose to believe. Armed with a different story to try, the new possibilities show up for you. Pause the video right here. Go ahead and do that, and I'll welcome you back in just a moment. Welcome back. Here's the deal: your abilities, opportunities, and circumstances are going to start changing because of that new story. It doesn't work the other way around until you choose to change your story. See, stories do truly shape your reality. So I'm going to give you an example of that, but just remember, your stories are what shapes the reality, not your reality shaping your stories. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's say you're running a business and you've told yourself, if I raise my prices, I'm going to lose all my customers. And this belief might seem harmless at its surface, but let's take a look at how this shapes our reality. Because Think about it. You're now working harder for less money. You're probably attracting price sensitive customers, and you might start to feel undervalued. And this is where many business owners find themselves. This belief feels harmless at first, but it keeps them in this cycle of burnout and overwhelm. Imagine if you shift that belief. Instead of thinking raising prices will drive customers away, you're going to decide to believe the right customers will pay what I'm worth because I deliver value. Now, let's see what realities you start to create, right? What's starting to happen? You're probably going to start taking action with confidence. You're going to raise your prices confidently, and you're going to market your value with pride. The customers who value you come to you, and those who don't, they weren't the right fit anyways. Suddenly, you're earning more, you're working smarter, and enjoying your business again, all because you let go of that limiting belief or that story. But I know, I get it, right? That all sounds great in theory, but it can be easier said than done. So let's talk about how we can say bye to limiting beliefs. Knowing that our limiting beliefs shape our realities, we do need some strategies so we can manage that instinctual moment, that fight or flight, that fight, flight, or freeze. Limiting beliefs can be a major battle for people. And I know this because I'm raising my hand, right? I know for me, it's been one of my biggest challenges. Overcoming limiting beliefs is actually your true pathway to unlocking your full potential. It's probably the most valuable use of your time is to focus on overcoming your limiting beliefs. Now, the good news is there are a lot of ways to work with and get control over those limiting beliefs. I'll just throw a few examples at you right away here. Prayer, faith, journaling, affirmations, visualization, hypnosis, a gratitude practice, reframing, guided meditations. In fact, we offer a guided meditation. I will have a link in the comments to that. Or you can even go deeper and do a regenerative images and memory session, which is just a way to really unlock and create new stories. It's something actually that my wife facilitates, and she's a certified administrator of this regenerative images and memory session. There will be a link in the description for that program as well. But you're truly unique. And so you're going to need to determine what's right for you. I am happy to have a session with you and just figure out what might be the right solution for you. If you'll go to consultaaron.com and reach out, and we can talk about that and figure out the best way to determine what's right for you. But I do want to get to the meat of it for you. So, to tame our limiting beliefs, it does require action. It requires us to do something uncomfortable and really to prove to ourselves that the limiting belief is not true. So Jack Canfield said this to me: you only gain self-confidence by surviving a risk. So to me, self-confidence is actually the absence of a limiting belief. So we have to take action. We must overcome fear, ask for what we need. So let me show you what this might look like. Any of you that are parents out there, you've probably at some point squared off against a 3-year-old who really wants something. But if you're not a parent, let me demonstrate for you how this might go. I'm going to play the kid and the parent kind of all in one here, but I'm going to start out as a kid. Okay. The 3-year-old. Can I have some ice cream? Please, please. It's so hot. I promise I'm going to be good. I just really need that ice cream. Please, mom, can I have the ice cream? Dad, the ice cream. Can I have some ice cream? Please, can I have the ice cream? Mom, dad, mom, mom, dad said I could have the ice cream. Mom, dad said I could have the ice cream, even if that's not what the parent said, by the way. This is an experience that I've had. Uh, maybe next they're like grabbing onto your leg and just almost in tears and tugging on your shirt tail or whatever. And then as a parent, at some point, most of us will go, fine, here's the ice cream. Right. And as I said, I've had this experience before. This is my, at that point in his life, 3-year-old who's now 13 years old. So this is 10 years ago. And he's got this bowl of ice cream that's the size of his head, maybe a little bit larger. And obviously, my logical brain was telling me to be a good dad, tell him no, but he was relentless. He really wanted that ice cream. Somewhere along the ways, and I'm sure it was in mom and dad telling us no, that we learned to not ask for the things that we need or want. And in a lot of ways, kids are better equipped to be business owners. So it's time to take back the fear of rejection. And there's a fun acronym that you can play in your head here. So when the fear of rejection shows up in the form of a limiting belief, I want you to repeat SW, SW, SW 4 times. SW, 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 and then say next. SW, 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 next. Now, let's take a look at what that stands for. Some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting, next. Some will, right? There are yeses out there. Newsflash, no's were not the right fit anyways. Remember, we talked about that. Some won't. Okay. Rejection's going to happen. It's part of life. Rejection's not personal and it really says nothing about your worth and it says nothing about you. One of my most popular blogs is all about basing your sales calls on being told no. So, in the description, I will put a link to that blog as well. And then, so what? You're actually no further behind than when you started. You didn't have the thing before you asked, and you still don't after you've been told no. But I would, in fact, say that you're actually further ahead because you learn more about what, let's say you were asking a potential customer, you've learned more about what they want based on how they reacted to your ask. You learned about yourself and better ways to ask next time. So, what if they say no? Who cares? Again, it says nothing about your worth. And then lastly, someone's waiting. The longer you're sitting in self pity and that self pity of being rejected, right? The longer you're making the person waiting to say yes to you, what are you waiting for, right? You're making them wait. No, seriously, somebody is waiting for you to ask. You just need to ask them. So, next, right? Someone is waiting. I hope what I shared today has inspired you to action. Curious if you want to put it in the comments here. What limiting belief are you ready to let go of? As we wrap up here, I know I didn't introduce myself with this long, impressive bio because this wasn't about me, and it never is, honestly, for me. It's always about you and your story. My role here is simply to be your guide and helping you uncover what's possible for your unique path. In fact, I made this fun little AI version of myself as Obi-Wan Kenobi here. And it's just a reminder of my mission that I'm the guide. Now, I do need to introduce myself as the guide, though. My name is Aaron Montgomery, and my company is called Our Success Group. So if you've connected to anything that I've said here and want to explore it deeper and maybe how it applies to your business, I'd like to offer you a free gift for your time, a free business and alignment strategy call. So if you can go to the link you see in the bottom right corner there, osg.link/SVP, you'll enter a little bit of information and then you'll schedule a call with me. I believe it's time to make even more positive changes in the world. And therefore, it's time for you to make more positive changes in your world through your business, changes in your community, changes in your family, and changes with the customers that you serve. So, with this assessment, the goal of it is to tie your strengths, values, and passions to the outcome that you truly desire. It's going to allow us some time to talk about identifying the right structure to support your unique business goals. And it's going to help us point to a growth plan that's sustainable and actionable for you. This 30 to 60-minute call is designed to give you clarity and a customized strategy to move forward with confidence. In a way, my way of helping you build a business that excites you every day, one that's going to bring fulfillment to your world, your community, and ultimately to your customers. It costs you nothing but your time, and I believe that it's worth every minute. So go to osg.link/SVP. I've got a white paper that my wife and I put together, and it's all about removing blocks with affirmations. If you will text pathway to this number, it's a US number. So if you're outside of the US, +1 and then 575 600 4674. I'm going to send you this white paper that is a guide to creating affirmations that will help remove limiting beliefs. Plus, it has several pages of example affirmations that you can use as well. The only limiting beliefs we face are the ones that we accept. Today, you've taken that step by challenging those limiting beliefs. So I want you to remember you can choose to rewrite your story, cut through the can't, and begin to declare I can for yourself. The power to unlock your potential is already inside of you. And I appreciate your time to learn so you can go out and make the world a little bit brighter.